Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Monday, a happy new year. I hope your new year is off to a fantastic start. I'm gonna spend the first couple weeks here on my channel of 2023 talking about favorites from 2022. So I have a series of videos that are going to be dedicated to different topics. So best of home fragrance by different brands, favorite hair care, favorite body care, favorite skin care, favorite makeup, all of those kinds of fun things, favorite devices, all of that fun stuff. So basically, I'm just gonna spend the first couple of weeks here in the new year talking about last year. So today we are going to be doing my top, I've been trying to keep it to top 5, and I promise the rest of these I will keep to a top 5. However, we're talking about perfume today, and I am a sucker for personal fragrance. I have been my entire life. I can remember being very young and being obsessed with my Oma's perfume collection, which was quite small. My mom was really honestly never one to wear much perfume growing up. My mom is very different from me in that she doesn't care about this kind of stuff. My mom is not into makeup. She's not really into skincare or any of that. Like, her and I are polar opposites. But yeah, when I was growing up, for whatever reason, I was just drawn to women who wore what I called fancy lady perfumes. So when I got to an age where I was able to start investing in my own perfume collection, I just got so excited about it. I would say my collection now is the biggest that it's ever been at any other point in my life. And I've kind of gotten to a point where I am now purchasing these smaller sizes if several different sizes are available of a perfume. I will usually start out with the smaller size. If it really grows on me, then when I finish it, I purchase the large size, but I try really hard to not have my perfume collection completely explode, although I think we're just about there. So personal fragrance is something that I want to explore a little bit more here on my channel in 2023. So I actually picked up a few new perfumes in December that I've been wearing that I want to share with you guys towards the end of this month. But today, let's go ahead and talk about my favorite 6 perfumes from 2022. Now, the way that I've been tackling these videos is not like this was a perfume that I discovered last year or that I purchased last year necessarily. I'm basing this off of what I really got excited about reaching for the most, what I maybe chose to wear the most over the course of last year. Although I will say, again, I try really hard to wear as much of what I have in my collection every single week. Usually I tend to focus on a specific fragrance each week, but you know, if I'm like re-upping my fragrance halfway through the day, and that's another thing, I do reapply very frequently. Sometimes I might pick a different fragrance for the afternoon or something like that. So I will put links to all of these that I am sharing in the description box down below. A couple of them are a little bit more difficult to find because they are French perfumes. But again, I will put links to them in the description box down below. You can go read up all of the individual fragrance notes. You can check out price point, other people's reviews, all of that kind of stuff. Always a plethora of information down there. All right, you guys, enough of an intro. Let's get into it. I'm gonna get started with, and most of these are in no particular order. These were just all of like my favorites from last year, but there is one that I think spoke to me the most. And I think this is actually the fastest that I have ever finished a perfume of this size ever. So I reached for this one constantly. It's the 7 Virtues Vanilla Woods. You guys have heard me mention this one so many times here on my channel. I am just about done with my very first bottle. I think I have like 1 or 2 uses left here, and believe me, I'm gonna get every last drop out. But I actually already purchased a backup of this because I knew I was gonna be finishing it before the end of the year during last fall's Sephora sale. I was kind of thinking ahead and managed to get a really great set for 20% off. And if that set is still available, I think it's a great deal. It included a full size of the perfume, which this one is, I think, 1.7 fluid ounces. It also came with a travel size, which is a really good size. And then there was also a book. But if you've never tried this one, you have to try it. Now, this is one of those, you're gonna see a lot of vanillas here. I'm just gonna warn you right now, I'm a vanilla girl. I love a solid vanilla base. It doesn't necessarily have to be a sweet vanilla, but if it has a vanilla base to it, I'm probably gonna love it. This one has a beautiful floral vanilla that also has like some warmth to it. It almost smells like an amber vanilla with a touch of sweetness and a beautiful like orchid floral type note. It's just warm, cozy, and inviting. And that's a description you're gonna see with, I think, actually the vast majority of the fragrances that I show you here. I really gravitate towards fragrances that make me feel like I wanna put on a cashmere sweater, grab a warm blanket, sit in front of the fire with a book and a dog in my lap, and that's just how I wanna spend like my entire day and evening. Like, I would be so content. All of these perfumes that I'm showing you guys really evoke that feeling for me. I'm definitely someone who is a little bit more like introverted. Like, I don't always need like a ton of people around me. And fragrances like this make me kind of want to like go more into myself even. Just enjoy time where I feel comfortable and cozy and warm. And this is one of those scents. Now, I will say, I think this is a beautiful fragrance for the fall and winter months, but I also wore this one during the summer, and it was also really nice during a warm summer evening just to have this beautiful, like, slightly floral vanilla wafting up at me. So good. I cannot say enough about this particular fragrance, and I know several of you picked it up based on my recommendation, and you love it now too, so you're welcome. I want to spread the word about Vanilla Woods. I think everyone needs to try it, especially if you love vanillas. All right, kind of along the same lines, but this one is definitely a little bit more gourmand. This is Penrose Secret Genius. Again, we have a solid vanilla base, but this one smells very gourmand. This has some caramel notes to it and just a slight, almost like warm muskiness. But it smells good enough to eat. This is one that I think is a wonderful year-round fragrance, but it also evokes that like warm, cozy feeling for me. And and this one has a beautiful wear on me. This one dries down to where you get a lot of just like the pure vanilla and that pure caramel, and they mingle together so beautifully, but not in a way that is cloying or overly just like headache inducing almost. Fabulous. If you ever have a chance to smell this one, you must. I think it's one of the best vanillas that are out there, honestly. I think Penrose definitely nailed the formula here with this one. So good. Now let's stick with my dream vanillas here because we're going with another vanilla. This is Vanille Extreme from Comptoir Sud Pacifique. Now, this is one that I'm almost nearly finished with. I'll definitely finish this one this year. And when I go to repurchase this one, I'm certainly going to purchase the next size up because this is one that I could just douse myself in. This straight up smells like vanilla funfetti birthday cake. If you want to smell like vanilla funfetti birthday cake, you should get this. Oh, it's so good. 100% gourmand vanilla. Honestly, good enough to eat. And this is one that when I wear this, Craig really likes it all. He's like, you smell so good. You smell like a cake. And I'm like, I know, I smell so good. I adore this fragrance. And if you are looking for just a pure vanilla cake, this is the very, very best that I have ever found, and I cannot say enough good things about it. I've tried several of the Comptoir Sud Pacifique fragrances. The Vanille Apricot is amazing. The Vanille Blackberry. In fact, I finished my bottle of the Vanille Blackberry. It is so good. The Vanille Blackberry is a dupe of Philosophy Falling in Love, and if you need a dupe for that, you can find one at Comptoir Sud Pacifique. So anyway, that is heavenly, highly recommend. Okay, so we're gonna do one more vanilla. I know, as if we needed more. But this one is not a sweet vanilla at all. Now, it's a little bit hard to find, but if you can get your hands on the Sylvain Delacourt, again, this is a French brand, Virgil fragrance. This has a vanilla base. She has like an entire collection that have like a vanilla base to them. Virgil is definitely my favorite, but there's a couple of others that I definitely want to invest in as well. I can't remember the names of them right now, but I can tell you the bottles will be coming home to me this year. Ugh. This is much more of like an earthy take on vanilla. I feel like I smell some tonka bean in here. It's not sweet, but it has vanilla in it. And it has, like I said, more of like an earthy type of touch to it. I think it smells warm and cozy, but this is one that I really like to wear on summer evenings because it just, something about like my body temperature, and this one is just a fabulous combination. When I am working out and I happen to have like sprayed this on my skin earlier in the day, it like does a beautiful job of almost like reactivating and just, oh, it smells so pretty, you guys. This is one that I would also say could probably actually be a unisex type fragrance. In fact, I think the next two that I'm going to show you, I think I would also consider unisex fragrances as well. But this one here, because it doesn't have a ton of sweetness to it, I think makes it a little bit different and unique. I've never smelled anything quite like this. And if you have, let me know, because I want more of this. This is another one where I'm just like, I'm drawn to all of it. I am drawn to the packaging. It has a really weighty, heavy, like magnetic type lid. The bottle is very elegant, thick glass. I am a sucker for packaging. I love super fancy perfume packages, like really unique bottles with really amazing designs, but I also love a good, basic, simple, straightforward type of perfume packaging as well. But this one I think is probably the prettiest simple bottle that I have because it's just so weighty. Ugh. Gosh, so good. I wish we had smell-o-vision. You guys would be in heaven right now. All right. This is from Dossier. Dossier is a dupe fragrance company. Now, I fell in love with the Baccarat Rouge 540. Like everybody else. It works incredibly well with my body chemistry. Baccarat Rouge 540 is not one of those fragrances that like enters the room before you do. This is one of those fragrances where people can sort of like smell something going on and they just want to get closer to you to smell more of it. Like I feel like that's kind of like what I get from Craig when I wear this one. He's like, you smell good, but I feel like I have to like get closer to smell your perfume, and I'm like, oh, that's by design. This one is absolutely heavenly, you guys. Dossier, I think, has one of the best dupes that I've smelled. Now, I actually did a video last year about my favorite Baccarat Rouge 540 dupes. I do think that Ariana Grande Cloud is a fantastic, slightly sweeter option, but I think this is the one that is truest to the original that I've ever smelled. And I do have a small travel size bottle of the original. It was gifted to me by a girlfriend, and I was so generous because that is such an expensive brand. Also, it's not cruelty free, so I would have never purchased the real thing for myself. However, I purchased this one because Dossier is cruelty free, and honestly, this one wears just as well on me as the original does. And this is not a powerhouse. Don't purchase this expecting to like walk into a room and having like, you're not gonna enter the room before this one. Like, you're both entering at the same time, and it's just this kind of mysterious, beautiful, musky, just gorgeous scent that surrounds you. But again, people have to get kind of close to smell it. So Ambery Saffron from Dossier, if you're looking for a dupe for Baccarat Rouge 540, I think this has definitely been my favorite so far. It just smells the truest to the original. Okay, last one here. I just couldn't not share this one. This was the one where I was like, oh, I really should just do 5. But then like these all turned into mostly vanillas. So I wanted something that was different. And this is, it's only an eau de toilette. And again, it's from a French company called Bastide. This is their Ombre Marquis, and this is just an eau de toilette. This is the strongest, longest lasting eau de toilette that I've ever had in my perfume collection, and it is heavenly, you guys. If you like amber, I'm talking true, warm, cozy, slightly earthy amber, you gotta try this. This has a gorgeous musk to it. It has a touch of almost like, maybe like a light kind of white patchouli. It's definitely leans more masculine than it does feminine in terms of fragrance. And again, I think this is one where, like, I've sprayed this on Craig before and I loved it on him, and I love this one on me. This is another one where with my body chemistry, this is just a beautiful pairing. In fact, the mist. When a perfume has just a beautiful, light, clean mist, ooh, I just love that. It's so good. It has a slight sweetness to the amber, but it's not an overly sweet amber. Definitely leans more earthy, but I can't tell you enough. And as far as like this being an eau de toilette, don't be scared off by that. Like I said, this is, I think, the longest lasting eau de toilette I've ever had. I feel like the fragrance oils that they used in here are just so, they're powerful. Like, I can't think of like a better word for it. They just smell, it's perfect, you guys. If you love amber as a base to any of your perfumes, check this one out. This one also layers really nicely. Sometimes I like to layer some of my like vanillas that are not quite as sweet over top of this. For example, I have done these two together and these paired really well. Yeah, just absolutely. I'm a lover of French perfume, I've discovered, and there are definitely more French fragrances that I am interested in. And there is a great, another great cruelty-free brand that has a lot of amazing fragrances that I think I'm really gonna be diving into this year. They offer some great like travel sizes, and you can put together like a little kit for yourself. So I think that would be a great way to try a little bit more from this particular brand. But you'll have to stay tuned to see what it is. I purchased one full size from them already, and I'm blown away by how amazing this fragrance is. So I'll be sharing that a little bit later on this month. Let me know what your favorite perfumes were from 2022. Let me know if there's anything that you think I should try, especially if you have recommendations for vanilla. I definitely tend to lean towards like the sweeter vanillas, but even if you have a more earthy vanilla suggestion, leave it down below for me. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo.